Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and today I have ANCALAGON the Black versus MCU Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. However, some rules. He cannot just straight up just snap his fingers and erase ANCALAGON, otherwise we would not have an interesting video. So without further ado, let's begin. ANCALAGON the Black Dread is the biggest and most powerful creature in the Lord of the Rings universe. However, in order to understand his power, we need to scale him to the Aenir. Now, why is this important? Well, the Aenir are conceptual beings within the World of Warcraft universe that are able to affect a timeless void. As a matter of fact, they're so powerful that things like space and time are just seen as, just fodder to them. So this would also put a lot of creatures that fight the Aenir on a regular basis in a universal plus to low multiversal category. Now you might say, Legendary, why is this important? Why is this scaling important, right? Well, here's the thing, right? Morgoth's army consisted of many creatures, including the Balrogs, which still fell to the army of the light, or at least the good guys, right? So why are these Balrogs important? The Balrogs fight the Aenir, and they were the strongest of those foot soldiers in Morgoth's army, and they still lost. What's important is ANCALAGON was able to push back that same army that was able to defeat the Balrogs. The same Balrogs that again go toe-to-toe with these Aenir, with a single Aenir being able to shake the timeless void, meaning there's no time and no space. It's just filled with nothing. And yet these Aenir are able to shake it very casually. So a single Balrog would scale to a single Aenir, which this entire race together would mean that they are all together able to destroy a multiverse. This means that the Balrogs altogether would be able to destroy a multiverse, and they still lost to this army of the light. ANCALAGON was even confirmed to be the mightiest of Morgoth's army. This means that Morgoth-Melkor viewed ANCALAGON superior to not only the Balrogs, but the Aenir. And the Aenir, again, are shaking a timeless void. ANCALAGON's feats would include him also being able to fight, and even though he lost, he was able to fight against someone like Arundel for days. It's stated that it took days to defeat ANCALAGON, that the fight could have gone either way. And Arundel needed his sword to be powered by sun jewels, meaning that Arundel would not be only mightier than his army with these sun jewels, but the sheer fact that it took days just to beat ANCALAGON means that not only would ANCALAGON be multiversal, but this could have gone either way. So with that being said here, ANCALAGON would be a multiversal threat with his fire breath and his storm creation, and with his wings being able to flap, creating these powerful hurricanes. So in all honesty, ANCALAGON is a beast. Let's not forget how the sheer size of him as well. He's bigger than 3 mountains. Like, he actually is able to hold mountains in the palm of his hand. So yeah, that would conclude the ANCALAGON part of this. So let's move on to Thanos. Thanos, the Mad Titan, wanted nothing more than to restore balance to the universe in order to preserve life itself. Honestly, I don't care what y'all really say. He was the good guy. But let's really talk about it here. Thanos has displayed universal plus to low multiversal level feats, and with the Infinity Gauntlet, he's able to do multiversal stuff. He has shown to be able to go toe-to-toe and absolutely thrash characters like the Hulk, Thor. He actually beat Thor off screen, and he was able to fight against Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and many more characters, even being able to fight Captain Marvel while being weakened by the newer version of the Infinity Gauntlet. This is important for scaling, considering there is a lot of dimensionality and universal plus level feats in the MCU. For example, you have Thor with his first feat being the fact that he was able to crack planets, and then the second movie he was able to go toe-to-toe with the Ether. or the reality stone. The reality stone being able to change and actually allow anyone to have reality be what it wants to be, even being able to change and tear through reality itself. All right. There's also the sheer fact that you do have characters that see things like whatchamacallit, the space stone as weak. For example, characters like Hela view the space stone as very weak here, and yet she would still be below Thanos when it comes down to it, because again, Thanos does to the stones here, which are known as universal constants, and all together they're able to produce a force that was pretty much the Big Bang itself here. Okay. So with that being said here, Thanos does have, these characters do have Universal Plus. Let's also talk about some other characters here. Now, Odin would be above Hela, as well as he was able to bar her from coming to the main universe that they were in. His magic was so powerful that it kept Hela in another dimension. And this would actually be a whole nother universe as well. Now, I know the MCU guidebook actually states the 9 realms, or at least the worlds that are named in there are planets, but Thanos was able to seal her off from the entire universe completely. There's also the Unimind, which was able to prevent a Celestial and even suppress it. That's important because Celestials in the MCU are capable of creating entire universes. So again, you do have some Universal Plus level scaling, at least around, I guess you could say maybe 4D, like bare minimum. But then you have Doctor Strange with the Time Stone being able to time loop someone as powerful as Dormammu, who's pretty much the ruler of the Dark Dimension, who created this by simply pulling in and conquering other dimensions, aka other universes. So again, you could actually scale Thanos above Doctor Strange with the Time Stone, which I do think is pretty important. So without further ado, let's begin the breakdown. So in all honesty, I really love this match. I think it's a very good match to start off with ANCALAGON and not put him against someone like Godzilla, because he has confirmations of being the strongest being in Morgoth's army, above the likes of the Balrogs, and you can even say possibly stronger than his master. However, I wouldn't say he's as powerful. Remember, there's a difference. Now, when it comes down to it, I think Thanos without the gauntlet would have just got one shot. Without the gauntlet, I definitely say he's Universal Plus 2 low multiversal, just due to the, again, scaling to characters like Thor and Hela. I would actually say he's equal to Hela. But with the gauntlet, he actually has a fair shot, being able to do things like possibly try to separate ANCALAGON's soul. However, you do have the shit thing like, well, is that possible for him? I mean, ANCALAGON's really large, and, both of these characters are faster than light. Yes, Lord of the Rings has faster than light scaling due to the elves being able to use light magic, and these characters would scale to this, yes. And we do know Thanos also has faster than light reflexes, being able to keep up with Captain Marvel and even throw his sword so fast that it actually outsped her. So yeah, again, these guys have Universal Plus 2 multiversal levels of scaling, all right? So in all honesty, if I really had to pick, Thanos with the Infinity Stone could do a lot to ANCALAGON, but not enough to where I think it will win. I think ANCALAGON's size actually does give him a significant edge here, because he can do a lot with just simply tapping his finger on the ground. He can just distort reality or just counter the Power Stone with his fire breath, because he's just that powerful. It's the most powerful fire in the verse, able to melt every one of the 10 rings except for one. So again, I do think it's very possible that ANCALAGON could possibly not only overpower an Infinity Gauntlet blast, but could potentially damage and melt the gauntlet because of the magical nature of it. Plus, Thanos doesn't really have too many options to put ANCALAGON down. You could say, oh, well, he could just create a portal, but has there been a portal that large before? I mean, you could scale it to Doctor Strange, yes, but at the same time, has Doctor Strange opened a portal the size of someone that's just as big as 3 mountains? We also know it wouldn't work on Thanos because he's just too durable for it. This was a confirmation by the Russo brothers. While I do think Thanos is a good matchup here. I do think he is, but I just think that it's more like a matter of time, in my opinion. And Calagon could create storms and potentially use that to just throw Thanos off. Possibly. Remember, I'm saying possibly. But it's also possible that he's able to just straight up get Thanos out the get-go. I do believe Thanos could use the Reality Stone to prolong the battle, using it to cloak himself, maybe make him seem as, in Caligon's master or whatever. He could potentially use the Mind Stone to try and trick him. We don't really know if the Mind Stone could really work at a far range. We do know it has the energy blast, but the mind control capability seemed to like you have to be close or to touch the person in order to do it. And I don't think Thanos is really going to just get that shot to really touch Caligon. I mean, a footstep is a earthquake. It is probably displacing a tectonic plate or two. So at the end of the day, while I do think Thanos does have some good ways to prolong this battle, I would have to say Caligon wins just because he's more powerful. He's able to overwhelm Thanos a lot more. And in all honesty, it's very hard to say without the snap that Thanos will be able to win this match. So I'm going to have to give it to Caligon. Be sure to comment down below, like and subscribe and share it to friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.